Good evening, and welcome to Graduation 2020, pandemic style, honoring the 79th graduating class of Doctors Hospital. I am Geraldine Urs. I'm Director of Medical Education here at Doctors, and it is my pleasure this evening to welcome you to our live-streamed event in celebration of the residency and fellowship programs. I would now like to introduce Reverend Anthony Smith, Manager of Pastoral Care, to give our invocation.
Good evening. Hear this blessing. Creator of all that is, bless each of these persons as we celebrate the successful completion of this section of their journey. We honor and celebrate each person for the work, commitment, and energy each invested along the way. Bless those who have supported them along this journey, their spouses and children, their parents and family, friends, colleagues, educators, and mentors. Remind them of what has brought them here and keep them aware of their calling. Make their paths straight and provide shelter to keep them safe. Sustain them through times of plenty as well as moments of need. Give each one the courage to fight what is necessary and the wisdom to know when to be still. Guide their steps down wide and deep paths and share with them all that is good. Thank you for each of these persons and journey with them always. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Smith. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Mike Richfield, President of Doctors Hospital.
Thank you, Dr. Urs. I am Mike Richfield, President of Doctors Hospital. It's an honor to be here. I'd first like to commend Dr. Urs and the medical education team for putting on this virtual graduation ceremony. I think it's really a very creative way and appropriate way in this era of COVID to honor our residents and fellows. Speaking of Dr. Urs, I think most of you know that Dr. Urs is retiring at the end of next month as Director of Medical Education. I just wanted to express on behalf of Doctors Hospital what she means to this place. She's had a very distinguished career in medical education for a long time, and just as important, she's been a true champion of osteopathic medicine and teaching. I wish her and Bob all the best in your retirement. Two other people I'd like to recognize: Dr. Bill Frazier, who's been our long-standing emergency medicine residency program director, who is retiring this year. I think he has built and led one of the strongest emergency medicine programs in the country, and we are very appreciative of his service. And then finally, Dr. Michael Kelleher, who is the program director for our radiology program. This is the last resident graduating from radiology, and I really commend Dr. Kelleher for his passion for teaching in radiology for many years, and so I really thank them all. Just as important is to recognize our faculty, medical education staff, and the medical staff at large for their commitment to both healing and the teaching mission at Doctors Hospital. And of course, the reason we're here, to congratulate our graduating residents and fellows, and just as important, their family members and friends who have supported them through what I call their long, strange trip, especially, these past few years. We first had the ACGME unification, which changed schedules. Got a phone call. Schedules, turned their worlds upside down, and they've come through that beautifully. Then following COVID-19, and unfortunately the recent social inequity and unrest in our society at large. But through all of this, our residents and fellows have prevailed, and I congratulate every one of you for your accomplishments and also for the great care you gave to our patients. So congratulations and good luck to you on the rest of your career. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mr. Richfield. It's now my turn to introduce another presenter. Dr. Todd Weil, our Vice President of Medical Affairs, could not be with us tonight due to a family emergency. However, he has sent his best wishes for the graduates, and I would like to introduce Dr. Andrew Eilerman, Program Director from Family Medicine, who will share Dr. Weil's comments with us.
Per Dr. Weil. I want to say thank you and congratulations to our 2020 graduating residents and families. We thank you all for your dedication, sacrifices, and commitment over the past years. To all the residents, you are now an attending physician. You are my colleague and my peer. Never forget what it was like to be the trainee now that you are the trainer. I ask that you continue to show courtesy, respect, kindness, and caring, dedication, and courage to the next generation of residents and interns. All of you have grown tremendously during your time as a resident, and just as you were getting into your comfort zone, you will be asked to do even greater things as an independent physician. Embrace it. Show your courage. Accomplish the things in life that you've been dreaming of. I know the future of medicine is in good hands. Dr. Weil also says, we have one last graduating senior I would like to say thank you to. So many patients, families, and loved ones who have been treated by physicians and who have trained at Doctors Hospital have been benefited by the culture of excellence, integrity, and professionalism that Dr. Jerry Urs has demonstrated throughout her professional life. As many of you are aware, Doctors Hospital successfully transitioned its graduate medical education accreditation from the American Osteopathic Association to the American College of Graduate Medical Education, which was a historic undertaking that recognizes the role that osteopathic medicine plays in caring for patients throughout the United States. This is just one of the many accomplishments for Dr. Jerry Urs as our DME. I am so proud to call Dr. Urs my colleague, mentor, peer, and most importantly, my friend. We will all miss you, Jerry. Thank you for leaving Doctors Hospital in a better place.
Thank you, Dr. Eilerman. Doctors Hospital has a great support system, and in that support system is the Osteopathic Heritage Foundation. I would now like to present Terry Donlin-Huseman, President and CEO of the Osteopathic Heritage Foundation, with a greeting for our graduates.
Good evening. I'm Terry Donlin-Huseman, President and CEO of the Osteopathic Heritage Foundation, and it is certainly a privilege to be here tonight virtually to celebrate the 79th graduating class of OhioHealth Doctors Hospital. Congratulations to each and every one of you for your significant educational achievements. The mission of the Osteopathic Heritage Foundation is to improve the health and quality of life in the community through education, research, and service consistent with our osteopathic heritage. We advance this mission by prioritizing causes and issues impacting the most vulnerable in our communities throughout central and southeastern Ohio, as well as advancing on a statewide and national level osteopathic medical education, research, and training programs, including those sponsored by OhioHealth Doctors Hospital. The foundation is proud of its support to enhance the quality and excellence of the medical education programs that each and every one of you experienced. Doctors Hospital certainly has a long and rich history of training high quality, compassionate, and competent physicians to serve the Central Ohio community and beyond. Congratulations again to each and every one of you. We're very proud of you and look forward to seeing you in the community. Take good care and be well. I'd also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank Dr. Jerry Urs for her commitment to Doctors Hospital osteopathic medical education, and to the osteopathic profession. Congratulations, Jerry, on an incredible career, and we look forward to seeing you in the future. Take care.
At Doctors Hospital, we consider ourselves family, and no event like this comes off without a lot of people doing a lot of support. Tonight, there are many people behind the scenes that will never be in front of the camera to receive recognition. And as we celebrate tonight, I want to take just a moment and recognize the amazing family of medical education for their work on creating this event. The graduation committee, Melody Brown, Tashiana Sullivan, and Paula Voss, along with Leslie Zhang, Manager of Medical Education, and the remainder of my awesome team, Robin Airy, Laura Epnett, Jordan Fishbach, Lee Hilkema, Laurel May, Mariah Nevels, and Novella Ward. Ladies, you make my job look easy. John Steinbeck wrote in Charles Dickens, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief and the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light and it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope and it was the winter of despair." This year's graduating class is a special group. Not that all the others before them weren't, but this group has weathered what I believe Mr. Steinbeck had in mind when he penned the above passage. They have survived residency training with its long hours, nights of call, ACGME AOA unification, a pandemic, COVID distancing, and social unrest. What else could they possibly see in their careers? Killer Hornets. Did I miss the Killer Hornets? I feel like I skipped the Killer Hornets. At any rate, these young men and women are continuing their journey as lifelong learners and practitioners. They have made the commitment to place their needs behind those of their patients. They have pledged to always do the right thing, even when it is the harder thing. This celebration of graduation is also one of sadness, as it marks the closing of two of the oldest medical education programs at Doctors Hospital, the transitional year and diagnostic radiology. Transitional year is the new term for traditional rotating internship. It's the first year out of medical school. It's PGY1. It is hard. The traditional rotating internship program began at Doctors in 1940 with a first class of two interns, Robert Mauger, DO, and Leonard Sells, DO. As residency training transitioned into full immersion without requiring an initial year, the transitional rotating internship program became extinct. Tonight, we will honor the last graduate of the TY program. Established in 1946, diagnostic radiology was the first residency program at Doctors Hospital. David Davidson, DO, was the first radiology resident, and Theodore Hobbs, DO, was the first radiology program director from the beginning of the program until the time of his retirement. Tonight, the current program director, Michael Kelleher, DO, will present the final graduates of this inaugural program. I know all of these graduates will be leaders of change. Join me now as we welcome the program directors and their graduates to graduation pandemic style. I would like to first introduce the program director of internal medicine, Dr. Robert Palma, and the associate program director, Christy Murphy.
Make sure we're 6 feet apart. Good evening, and first let me extend my heartfelt congratulations to all the graduates and their families. And secondly, a sincere thanks to Mr. Richfield, our CEO, Dr. Weil, who couldn't be with us, our VPMA, Dr. Urs, our DME, Dr. Murphy, our Associate Program Director, and somewhere Jordan Fishbach, our Program Coordinator, is here. Believe me, without all of your support and efforts, we would be mediocre at best. Unusual times, to say the least, but these 7 graduates are the usual cream of the crop of Doctors Hospital Internal Medicine program. Our internal medicine patron saint is William Osler, and he asks physicians in training to learn 3 life lessons: mastery of yourself, conscientious devotion to your profession, and the deepest interest in your fellow man. I can tell you these 7 people have learned those lessons. Dr. Urs, we have a lot of years between us. I just hope your retirement is as productive as your career. You will be dearly missed. Dr. Murphy is going to introduce our graduates.
Thank you. I'm going to first mention that one of our graduates couldn't be with us tonight. That's Dr. Jeffrey Sebecki. Dr. Sebecki went to Campbell University School of Osteopathic Medicine, and we are fortunate that he will, yes. Okay, it's probably in my face because I'm so short. So Dr. Sebecki will be staying with us here at OhioHealth and is going to be a hospitalist within the system. And now for the people who are here. Dr. Jason Blankenship graduated from West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine, and we get to keep him too. He will be here as a cardiology fellow at Doctors Hospital. Okay, our next graduate is Dr. Jonathan Eberly, who went to Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. Dr. Eberly is also going to stay with us as a hospitalist with the OhioHealth Physician Group. Next, we have Dr. Roy Greenberg, who went to Edward Via College of Osteopathic Medicine in Virginia. We don't keep Dr. Greenberg. He is going to Charleston, South Carolina, to be a hospitalist with Roper St. Francis. Next, we have Erin Ivanoff, who went to Edward Via College of Osteopathic Medicine in the Carolinas, not in Virginia. She's going back to the Carolinas, to North Carolina, Morehead City, to be a hospitalist with Carteret Healthcare. Dr. Andrew Pollard went to the University of Pikeville College of Osteopathic Medicine. Another keeper for us. We're thrilled that he's going to be staying here to do a cardiology fellowship at Doctors Hospital. Lastly, we have Dr. Caitlin Shaheen, who went to the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine. She will be joining her husband, Dr. Roy Greenberg, as a hospitalist with Roper St. Francis in Charleston, South Carolina.
Each year, the residents and fellows vote for an intern who has distinguished themselves based on professionalism, initiative, and teamwork. This year, there was a tie, and two interns were selected, Dr. Perrin Patel and Dr. Patrick Schaefer. Because they are first years, they are not with us tonight, but we will share this news with them. Every year, one resident is selected from primary care programs and chosen to be honored Resident of the Year based on their dependability, courtesy, and work ethic. This year, The primary care resident of the year is Dr. Caitlin Shaheen. Outstanding teaching is recognized annually by the students at Ohio University Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine. It is with great pleasure I congratulate Dr. Jonathan Eberly on being selected as the 2020 Outstanding Graduate Medical Education Trainee Physician. Off camera, where you can't see right now, the residents are lining up with their program director and assistant program director to have a formal picture taken. During that time, they actually get to remove their masks for just a few minutes and reveal their identities as we snap a picture. One of the unforeseen things that we can have happen during a live stream is to not have the next program keyed up and people here ready to go. So I am in the process of finding out where our next people are. It sounds like we have people on the stairwell, so hopefully we will have the next group here in just a moment. Please. As I spoke in the beginning, the next program being introduced is the diagnostic radiology program. And this program, as I said, was our inaugural program here at Doctors Hospital. Tonight, Dr. Michael Kelleher, the program director, will introduce the last graduates of this program. Dr. Kelleher, would you like to join me? You're over there. Yeah. Yes, song and dance.
Huh?
I'm sorry.
Leave this on?
You can take it off while you're over there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. Like Dr. Urs has said, we have two final graduates. They are Mark Hess and Alex Stone. If it wasn't for COVID, they most likely would be board certified now. Unfortunately, the oral board certification exam has been postponed for a year. So first is Mark Hess. He is originally from Dayton, Ohio, if anyone's heard of that. He is a graduate of the Heritage College in Athens, and he came to us from there. And when he leaves us, he will be moving to Cincinnati to do a musculoskeletal fellowship at the University of Cincinnati. And the second graduate is Alex Stone. He is originally from Waterloo, Iowa, and he went to medical school at the Des Moines University College of Osteopathic Medicine. He's the last in a long line of great residents that I snabbed from DMU. So when he leaves here, he's going back to Iowa, and he will be at the University of Iowa doing a neuroradiology fellowship.
Thank you.
This way.
Do you have more remarks?
No.
That's it?
No.
Great. Lee will take care of you over there for pictures. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Our next program is ophthalmology, and I would like to introduce Dr. Jeffrey Hutchinson, Program Director.
Thank you, Dr. Urs. I do want to thank Dr. Urs and the Department of Graduate Medical Education at Doctors Hospital, and specifically also Leslie Zhang, who's kind of stepped in and donned another of many hats over this last year as she's served as our residency program coordinator. We're honoring tonight from our department Danny Solano. Danny, you can come on up if you'd like. Danny came to us from Davie, Florida, and Nova Southeastern University, where he completed both his bachelor's and doctoral degrees. He'll return to Florida this month, where he will be joining a private practice in comprehensive ophthalmology in Port Charlotte. It really wasn't until I began thinking about what I might say tonight about Danny that it struck me how rare it is for someone to carry the nickname Danny this far into adulthood. However, none of us close to him would ever think of calling him anything else. Among the things I've come to appreciate most about him are his enthusiasm, his fun-loving nature, and the real sense of wonder that he displays each day. In the best sense of the phrase, he's just a big kid. So Danny just fits. Certainly not Daniel, nor even Dan. At the same time, Danny has consistently demonstrated maturity and confidence rare for someone at this stage of his career development. He's never afraid or timid, but humble enough to ask for help when appropriate. One extraordinarily complex patient encounter comes to mind as an illustration of this. A teenage trauma victim required a trip to the operating room for repair of eye and orbital injuries. In preparation for surgery, her obligatory pregnancy test was positive. Since she was unable to consent for her own surgery and now had to understand and act on the knowledge that surgery also carried risks for her unborn child, the first person in line was her mother, who unfortunately happened also to be admitted to the same hospital, a victim of the same trauma. This would have been okay, except that the daughter did not want her mother to know she was pregnant. While everyone from the nursing staff, the anesthesiologist, and the family were scratching their heads, Danny calmly said, "I'll go talk to her. I'm sure we can figure this out." In the meantime, the complexity of the situation continued to expand as additional family members began to weigh in. Ultimately, with the help of the on-call medical ethicist, the chaplain, security, and a little time, Danny did succeed in safely and appropriately securing not only the consent for surgery, but the trust of his patient and delivering the care she needed and the understanding that she deserved. Danny wrote in his application personal statement, "I am enthusiastic, compassionate, interested in solving problems, eager to learn, and committed to being a generous and thoughtful colleague. I look forward to practicing medicine in the field of ophthalmology and hope to one day use my skills and resources to help someone." You have, Danny. And our sincere hope for you is a long career with many, many more opportunities to use your skills and resources to help others. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, once again, we've hit kind of a lull here in the arrival of our programs. We anticipated that this would be a problem as we started this, trying to maintain distancing as well as having the programs run, or having this program run smoothly. So as you've noticed, as we've called the residents forward, we have allowed them to take their masks down so that you can see their smiling faces. And then actually something that has come forward with COVID, since we can't shake hands anymore, we do the elbow bump. So that's kind of like COVID handshake now. So everyone is using that. COVID has certainly changed our lifestyle and the way we practice medicine and in how we are allowed to have our residents interact with patients as well as other trainees. There has been much publication of residency training or of medical school training programs bringing their students out early so that they could participate in community care. While that was a boon for us, it also pointed up the need to be able to protect those newly graduated medical students, newly graduated physicians as they came into the workforce. So while we have gained a lot of knowledge about how to train physicians, we have not gained the knowledge of how to treat or how to train them when they can't actually touch the patients. This has put all of us in medical education on the forefront, coming up with ways to have virtual meetings for didactics, to have virtual simulation projects, to conduct telemedicine interviews with our patients, and in general, to learn how to practice medicine without touching a patient, a concept that was foreign to me. It is my sincere hope as we move forward through the COVID crisis that we can get back to having our medical students in the hospital and treating patients and being trained here again. We're starting to open that up, and soon in July we'll be receiving medical students back on the training floors and back on rotations. So that will be a wonderful asset for us. Our next program is emergency medicine. And it is my opportunity now to introduce the program director of emergency medicine. We're a little bit ahead of schedule, so he's looking at me like, what are you doing to me? And he's shrugging his shoulders and he's putting his hands up. But I'm going to make him come up here anyway because Dr. Frazier is retiring. This is his last big event with us. And so I'm going to make him come up here and have a COVID handshake with me. But what you'll also find out is Dr. Frazier is very entertaining, and so I'm going to let him do probably about, 5 minutes or so of stand-up comedy.
Wow. Well, that was unexpected. And I don't have my usual, am I allowed to take this off while I'm doing this?
You certainly are.
Oh, thank God. I can breathe again. So I don't have 5 minutes worth of stand-up to do, but I will just find something to do for the next 5 minutes. As Dr. Urs pointed out, I am retiring this year, and as luck would have it, I'm going out on a high note because this is one of the best classes we've ever graduated, and I'm really proud of this entire group, even though most of them aren't here. Oh, the tallest one is here. Hi, Ben. So should I just sort of start doing my thing, or
you sure can.
Do I need to sing Babalu and start taking articles of clothing off? It's going to get really weird here in a minute.
Well,
folks.
first thing I think you need to do, Bill, is let everybody appreciate that tie you have on.
Oh,
For
of course.
those of you that can't see that, is there a way to get in on that?
It's an Aladdin tie, for those of you who can't see it, and this is in honor of Dr. John Casey, who will be the next program director in emergency medicine. He spends nearly as much time at Disney World as he does here, so I thought he would appreciate this. We're still a couple residents short for the presentation. Normally, we do a big graduation with our own residents. This year has been pretty different for everyone for all the obvious reasons. And as soon as I get maybe one more resident here, I'll actually start introducing them. I hope that Dr. Hutchison didn't make any 2020 jokes, because I got one in my speech here.
He did not. For
That's
ophthalmology,
awesome,
that's
because-
unusual.
But usually I get to go before him, and I wanted to beat him to the punch because I was sure he would say something about 2020. So, hi team. Was anyone following you in? No. Did you leave any breadcrumbs or crustables? That seems to get them here. So, okay, well, this year's class is quite a bit smaller than I had anticipated, apparently. Lee, did you do some paperwork things that I wasn't aware of? Okay. So, the usual format is, I'm pretty funny. And in fact, sometimes I forget how funny I am. This year it's been a little bit more of a problem because I don't feel as funny. But I'm just going to go ahead and start and just talk really slowly. One of the things, I was actually enjoying the fact that this was going to be a virtual graduation until I found out I still had to wear pants. So I do. So I am wearing pants for those of you who are concerned about that, even though I'm standing behind the podium here. So. Hello, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to present the OhioHealth Doctors Hospital Emergency Medicine graduates of 2020, or at least 5 of them. The other ones are going to be a little delayed. This year, here it comes, Jerry, the 2020 thing.
Okay.
This year, I should be speaking about the future with a clear vision. And yes, that was specifically for Dr. Hutchison, but I don't get to have that enjoyment. But we have been besieged with world and U.S. events that have affected us directly and indirectly. These events have left me feeling that my usual resident roast, which the residents cherish, by the way, it's all in fun, that my usual resident roast would be inappropriate. So I didn't want to roast them, but I didn't really want to say anything nice about them either. So I was, at least not individually, so I was sort of left in a quandary. So I'm just going to give a little speech here and then start introducing the graduates and where they're going. And I'm talking faster than I had hoped. So, as someone pointed out to me the other day in the ER, 2020 has been one heck of a year, and it's not even half over yet. It's kind of amazing. Recently, here's the political part if you don't like that kind of stuff. Recently, we have seen the fabric of our society torn apart as we witnessed a sickening display of police brutality as a man pleaded to breathe. We cared for people injured in the ensuing riots, even as we worried for our loved ones who lived in affected areas. We have been personally affected by a global pandemic that altered our schedules, our work habits, and our own personal safety. In some cases, contracts have been offered and people have signed for jobs, and then these offers were rescinded, leaving graduates. Well, did we get there? We got all 3? All right, we're full class. All right. You guys pulled that one out just in time. Let's see. And our work habits have been altered and our personal safety. People have lost contracts and left scrambling for jobs, all because of a virus that we didn't understand very well, that kept people out of the emergency department, cutting our volume nearly in half for most of the month of April. Excuse me. And yet, despite all this, there remains a bright future. Through all of the turmoil and uncertainty, the class of 2020 has remained at their posts. You have performed admirably, taking care of devastatingly sick patients who had a virus with no known cure that could have severe effects even in young, healthy people such as yourselves. You didn't even know at the onset whether or not our protective equipment would protect us, or even if there would be enough of it to protect us. Yet you charged into those rooms to resuscitate these patients and save their lives. You have done what you were trained to do, and you have done it well. Some of you have become or will become physician leaders. Some of you will become physician educators. All of you have earned the respect of the faculty and the entire staff of the emergency department. All of you have become supremely competent emergency physicians. And you lined yourselves up correctly alphabetically. This is a great night. Here is the class of 2020. Natasha Boydston from the Kansas City School. I didn't want to say the whole thing because it's like ridiculously long. Will be graduating in December and is going to be moving to Boston, although she is currently unemployed. She does have a couple interviews next week. So congratulations, Natasha. Janine Curcio from LECOM, the real one in Erie, not one of those satellite ones. Janine will be staying with us as an EMS fellow and practicing somewhere. You still don't know? Congratulations, Janine. Criff, okay.
Criff?
I'm done. Chris Evans, also from KCUMB, will be going to Tucson, Arizona, working at Northwest Hospital. And I am really jealous about that because I went to undergraduate school in Tucson, and I love Tucson. And for my wife who is watching, Joan, learn to love Tucson, please. Congratulations, Chris. I'm going to hear about that in a little while. Cameron Meyer from the West Virginia School will be staying in Central Ohio, working at Fairfield Medical Center and maybe Springfield Regional Medical Center, and maybe with us, and maybe. Congratulations, Cam. Nice work. Renee Moffitt from Rocky Vista will be going to Presbyterian Medical Center in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Benjamin Silver from Western University, the one in Oregon, not the real one that I went to, will be going to Providence Centralia Hospital in Centralia, Washington. Here, do I have to stand? Yeah. I have to jump to get yours. And Dr. Gregory Tanquary, also from Kansas City, will be returning home to work at St. Luke's Hospital in Kansas City. What is he passing out, like candy? I just noticed that. That's just odd. And Amber Walker from OUHCOM will be working for Team Health at various sites as a traveling emergency physician. To all of you, oh, there you are. I thought you guys would be where the food was by now. To all of you, change is inevitable in medicine, and emergency medicine in particular. Emergency medicine may never be the same following this pandemic, but you all have the skills to have long, happy, healthy careers in emergency medicine. Congratulations to all of you. Go forth into the world of emergency medicine. Be the advocates for your patients and for that which you wish to change. Be the leaders who can be relied upon in a crisis, and above all, stay safe, stay healthy, and take care of yourselves. Thank you.
Every year, one resident from the specialty care programs is chosen to be honored as Specialty Care Resident of the Year based on dependability, courtesy, and work ethic. The Specialty Care Resident of the Year is Dr. Christopher Evans. Dr. Evans? As we're finishing up pictures over there and getting everything ready for emergency medicine to exit, our next one program is not here yet. And so Dr. Hura and the general surgery program, as well as the final transitional year program candidate, will arrive here shortly, and we will bring them up and on board. Behind me, as you can see tonight, is a wall, and on the wall are plaques of the founders of our hospital. 3 gentlemen who had the idea that there should be a hospital where osteopathic physicians and osteopathic medicine could be practiced in the city of Columbus. In 1940, osteopathic care was not provided in the traditional medical hospitals within the city. And so in order to have a place to practice osteopathic medicine with other osteopathic physicians, they purchased a house on Denison Avenue here in Columbus. The house actually had been commissioned as a hospital called the Radium Hospital during the 1930s and had come up for sale in the 1940s. These 3 gentlemen, a general surgeon, Dr. Watson, an orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Clybourne, and an ear, nose, and throat surgeon, Dr. Licklider, banded together, bought the building, and established Doctors Hospital. In 1941, as I mentioned earlier, the first class of interns, 2 interns, started. And in 1946, we established the first residency program at Doctors Hospital in radiology. Since then, our program of graduate medical education has grown to 13 programs here at Doctors Hospital. We have programs in general surgery, orthopedic surgery, head, neck, and ear, nose, and throat. We have obstetrics and gynecologic surgery. We have programs in primary care medicine, in family medicine, and internal medicine. We have specialty programs in ophthalmology and diagnostic radiology also. This year we have added a fellowship to our existing 2 fellowships. We have established and opened the Emergency Medical Service Fellowships under the direction of Dr. Rob Lowe. Our other 2 fellowships are Pulmonary Critical Care Medicine and Cardiology. For the first 60 years of training here at Doctors Hospital, our residency programs have been accredited by the American Osteopathic Association. It became apparent in 2013 that the unification of accreditation for medical training needed to happen to provide the public with the ability to understand that medical training was the same across all platforms, regardless of where your physician was trained, either in an osteopathic medical school or in an allopathic medical school. And so at that point in time, the talks began between the American Osteopathic Association and the ACGME, or the American Council on Graduate Medical Education, to develop a program that would allow these 2 entities to unify and become one solid base for accrediting the programs. In 2015, our hospital became the sponsoring institution for the osteopathic programs based here to transition into the ACGME. Over the past 5 years, we have transitioned all of our programs into the ACGME, and all but one of our programs at this point in time have become osteopathically recognized by the ACGME. That is an additional certification upon the original transition into ACGME. This has been an amazing feat and an economically expensive feat to accomplish for our training programs, which demonstrates the commitment of our hospital and our hospital system to the support of osteopathic medical education, as well as the support and the continued funding by the Osteopathic Heritage Foundation to ensure that osteopathic physicians still have a place to practice and a place to train in Columbus, Ohio. It has been my honor to be the DME in charge during this transition and to be a part of making that part of medical history for Doctors Hospital. I can only imagine going forward if I were to be able to travel ahead in the future to stop 5-10 years out and turn around and look back at the strides and the training leaps that the programs here at Doctors Hospital will have made by that time. I know that somebody will do that for me and be proud, just as I am, of where our profession has gone. When they asked me to be the MC for tonight's program, they did not tell me that I would be doing ad lib for, I don't know, what, 40 minutes now? But apparently I have a gift of gab, and I can do so. So thank heaven for Dr. Frazier, who gave you all on the other end of this camera a break from just me. I'm going to ask Mr. Richfield, do you do stand-up?
I do not.
So he doesn't do stand-up. Anybody up here sing or dance? Well, apparently not, so you're going to have to continue to listen to me, I guess. There are going to be 2 more awards presented tonight that are very near and dear to my heart. One of them is an award that was established by one of our family medicine graduates. Dr. Lori Gilgrennan was a 2006 graduate of the Doctors Hospital Family Medicine program. Dr. Gill went into private practice here in Columbus, and tragically, at only 32 years of age, Dr. Grennan was diagnosed with stage 4 inflammatory breast cancer. You're going to hear a little bit more about Dr. Gill and her philanthropy and what the award stands for a little bit later in the program, but I wanted to give you an introduction to what will be coming a little bit later. The other award that will be given out tonight is the Ruthie Purdy Award. Dr. Ruthie Purdy was actually the first female resident here at Doctors Hospital in 1952 and was only the second resident in the internal medicine program, which was established in 1951. So a little bit more about Dr. Purdy and that award a little bit later. I am happy to say that Dr. Hura has arrived along with his entourage of residents that are graduating, so I'm going to invite him up. He too can do about 5 minutes of stand up and get us on target again. Dr. Hura?
Good evening.
Yeah, and you can go right over there to the podium and no, you get to go that side. You can't stay here with me. Go over there. Go.
I always get the second mic, I guess, huh? Well, thank you, Jerry.
You do. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We were here earlier, and we didn't think you'd be ahead. I thought, oh, they'll talk forever, you know.
And
so,
I'm doing 40 minutes of ad lib. Thanks,
yeah,
Don.
Yeah. Well, you sounded really good for that 40 minutes. Well, good evening, everybody, wherever everybody is at this point. Thanks for joining us this evening. I have a fantastic class to just talk about here, and my phone is going off, so I apologize for that.
Before you introduce your fantastic class, would you like to invite your Associate Program Director up with you?
I was going to do that in a second, just as we do that. I'd like to bring up Alyssa Pastorino. Dr. Pastorino is a graduate of this program and has been one of my partners for a number of years. She is the Associate Program Director and does wonderful work. And if anybody needs to know what fine surgeons we make, just take a look at Dr. Pastorino, because she's one of the best. Would you like to say hello? You can take your mask off, I guess. No worries, no mask off. Well, thank you for coming too, Alyssa. I appreciate it. She helps out with our program to a very large extent. So we have 3 seniors graduating this year. We're not going to keep any of them in general surgery, is my understanding, although maybe I could still talk some of them into it. Our first graduate is Dr. Jenna Bories. Now, Jenna she was born in Colorado. I'm correct. Shake your head if not. Go, no, that's correct. Come on up, Jenna. She went to school at the Northwest Pacific Health Science Medical School. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That was a long thing. I couldn't memorize the whole thing. Jenna, I remember a number of years ago when she was a junior resident, and I'd let her do a case, and I think before Jenna did anything in surgery, she would ask, is this correct? Is this correct? Is this correct? However, I will tell you that over the past year, Jenna doesn't ask me that anymore. She just does it. I've always relied on Jenna for her opinion. She has always given it to me very happily, and I value it. So whenever a tough situation came up, I would ask Jenna, come on in and please give me your opinion on this, and she would, and many times it would be spot on, and I'm going to miss that. So maybe I can get your phone number and call you now and then. But I will miss Jenna. She's going to make a fine surgeon. She's going to go on to do a fellowship at Grant Medical Center in critical care. And who knows, maybe we can talk her into staying around here. That would be a fine addition to OhioHealth. Jenna, I want to tell you I'm very proud of how you've developed. I'm very happy with how you're developed, and I wish you well. So congratulations. And I'm going to shake hands. I don't care if we'll wash our hands afterwards. Congratulations, Jenna. It's been wonderful.
Jenna.
Yeah, I guess we can do that. There we go. Next is Dr. Bradley Sherman. Dr. Sherman was born in Tennessee, that's my understanding, and went to medical school in Virginia. He came here to this program and had served in the Navy. And I want to give a special shout out and a thank you to Dr. Sherman for serving all of us in a different way before coming here. I think people who serve in our military are a special breed. And then to come here and do a residency, I think speaks volumes. I've never had to worry about his confidence. What I will miss is him ending every sentence with "sir." I don't think anyone else does that. I sort of like that from Brad, and it's I've gotten used to that. You know, I sort of feel like I have a rank, but when he leaves, I'll go back down to a private, I guess. Dr. Sherman will be going down to Dallas, Texas, and do a critical care trauma fellowship at Parkland Hospital, which is a fantastic place to learn your trauma. It was you know, next to Baltimore and Pittsburgh and all. It's one of the best trauma centers in the country. So it's a feather in his cap. It's a feather in our cap that he's doing that. It speaks well for the program. I'm very proud of him. He will make a fantastic surgeon. I don't worry about his skills or knowledge because they are there. And I want to tell him how proud I am of him. And he will make a great surgeon, and I want to congratulate him and wish him well. Brad? Very well done. And our third chief resident is Dr. Simon Frazier. Now, I've known Simon for many years, and little did I know, how many years has this been now? 10 or 15 years ago. My son played high school football too, and I would sit in the stands and I would see Simon playing his senior year of high school football. Little did I know that our paths would cross again. But it's been fantastic, and I think somebody who has the ability to have his athletic prowess, his career, pulls himself, says, hey, I'm going to do this and become a doctor, and not only that, but a surgeon, I think that speaks volume of him. Simon is an excellent surgeon. He's got good hands, good skill. I think he's going to make a very fine vascular fellowship, or vascular surgeon, as he goes on to a vascular fellowship up in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, University of Wisconsin. So hopefully we'll see him back at some point. I'm very, very happy with the way he progressed through this program. I would trust any one of these three chiefs, including Simon, to operate on me at any time, and that's how I sort of judge it. And I truly mean it. Simon's been a wonderful person, a good leader, and he's got great hands. You know, fantastic. So I want to congratulate him. I want to wish him well in his fellowship, and hopefully he'll consider coming back here if that's how it's going to fall out. So Simon, congratulations. It's been wonderful.
Appreciate it, sir.
Good luck. Okay, there we go. And we only get 3 a year, so I thank you very much for your time and the ability to participate in this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Herman, Dr. Pastorino. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
I mentioned in the opening remarks that this graduation marked the last graduate of the transitional rotating internship, or the transitional year. And interestingly enough, here at Doctors Hospital, the transitional year program director happens to be the DME. So I am the program director for this particular program, and it has been my pleasure this year to have Dr. Kwasi Mpoma to be my intern. Would you come forward? We get to do this. Now everybody else had to stand over there. You get to stand over here with me. Kwasi, you get to stand here with me. And you get to take your mask off so that everybody can see your beautiful face. So Dr. Mpoma comes to us from OUHCOM. He is from the hometown of Richmond, Virginia, right? Yeah, yay, there you go. But he says in his remarks to me that Ohio has been great to me as he has completed all of his education here. I wish we could have talked him into staying with us, however, he has different plans. I have been just wowed this year, always, by Kwasi's smile. Whenever he smiles, he lights up the room. He has been just a wonderful leader for the students in the programs and for the other first-year trainees we've had here at Doctors this year. Dr. Ampoma likes working on cars. He likes to maintain them. He likes to race them. Likes being on the racetrack. I don't know, I wouldn't have guessed that. And I also feel very proud of him this year because he's passed most of this year without his family next to him, his wife and his brand new baby daughter. She's 4 months now? 6 months. Wow. 6 months now. Have been in Virginia awaiting his arrival. He will be joining a physical medicine and rehabilitation program at Eastern Virginia Medical School in Norfolk, Virginia. Quasi, it has been my pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to have you go over with Miss Hilkema over there, and he will have his picture taken, and then we'll move into the next program. And I wish I could tell you that they were here, but they're not, and so you get me, again, to do some ad-libbing. I'm not sure that OB will arrive on time, but I guess that's kind of fortuitous, isn't it? Who knows when the baby's going to arrive? So now we have OB late for delivery, but Dr. Perez will be entertaining when he arrives and will keep us all on the ball. So we've kind of taken a journey tonight in some of my discussions about the founding of the hospital and what programs we have here and about the unification here. One of the things that has been happening over the years of training here at Doctors Hospital, as well as other training programs throughout the United States, has been kind of problematic to me as an osteopathic physician. We tend to have lost sight of the gift we have in the training to use our hands to treat our patients. It has been my honor and privilege here at Doctors Hospital to bring back the passion for osteopathic medicine and to actually reignite the osteopathic service here at the hospital and to get it up and running. So that has been one of the causes that I have championed during my time here, and it has been just so fulfilling to have the hospital support from Mr. Richfield, from the other parts of administration, to be able to bring that back into the practice of daily medicine here at Doctors Hospital. I am hoping that moving forward we will continue to engage and have our residents involved in the presentation of osteopathic medicine to their patients and the opportunity to practice that with their patients. So just as if we were having twins, the first ones have arrived, but the other one isn't here yet. So Dr. Perez, why don't you come up and talk with me for a minute? I've been ad-libbing for about 40 minutes here, and these people are really tired of me. So I'd like to introduce the program director for OBGYN, Obstetrics and Gynecology, Dr. James Perez, along with his associate program director, Dr. Diana Topolnicki. Right up here with him.
All right. So we have some extra time.
You do.
Dr. Baker's really going to be jealous.
I know.
Anyway, we can take these off?
You can take that off.
Oh, good. Okay. Hi, everyone.
As long as you don't spit on it.
No, I won't. I will promise I won't. I want to first start by saying thank you to the Med Ed department and OhioHealth and administration. You guys have done an awesome job, especially during this very difficult time, COVID time. And I want to congratulate all the other programs, residents that are graduating. Some of you know that earlier this year I had, although I thought I was okay, I got really sick, and if it wasn't for the general surgery team, they reached down in the drain and pulled me up out of it and saved my life. And then the intensivist team, they kept me alive for a while, and then the internal medicine, they made me better, and then the nursing team, they just nursed me back to health, and it was a really good experience, wonderful experience here. They took excellent care of me, and I can't thank them enough. But one of my first memories is waking up in ICU, and this very large guy was leaning over me checking my incision. It was Simon Fraser. I thought I was in Lilliputian land. Anyway, so this is really the end of a wonderful era. These 4 residents that we have graduating tonight represent a time when we had 16 residents in our program, and we took 4 a year, obviously. And then we went to the following year to six a year, so we have 24 now. So this is a wonderful time to remember that experience. The AOA was much easier roads and rivers to navigate. We simply just interviewed prospective residents, called them up and talked to them and said, we'd like you to come here, and it worked that way. Now it doesn't work that way anymore. It's very, very different. So should I bring them up one at a time?
Yes, if you're ready, you can.
Okay,
you can
Dr.
start.
Cox is the first. Chelsea Cox came to us. She had her education, her undergraduate education at Central Michigan University, then went on to Michigan State University College of Osteopathic Medicine. And she is traveling now and leaving us after she graduates to enter a practice in Berrien, Washington. Is that right? Berrien, Washington. Good, I got that right. She was the chief of education and did a marvelous job with education. And to her credit, she scored some of the highest scores in our Creoggan service examination. And every week we'd see her list of educational experiences that the residents would have to accomplish, and it was really very, very good. The best we've experienced. Reading through her personal statement, I go back and I look at their application, when they're ready to graduate, and reading through her personal statement, it said that if you walked into her apartment, you'd see all these pieces of art equipment all over her floor and paintings all over her apartment, and that she had a really nice, I saw some of her paintings. She has wonderful talent in art and a desire for fine detail and to see the beauty in things. And it dovetailed perfectly into the art of medicine, and particularly in our profession, our specialty, which is reproductive medicine, and the beauty that comes out of that. And she certainly accomplished that, and we will miss her. And I told her today, as I told all the other residents, if you don't like where you're going, come on back, because we have a spot for you and we want you to stay here. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being part of our family and we're part of your family now. Yeah, we are always. Okay, Emily Herfel. Emily came to us through, she did her undergraduate education at John Carroll University, which there's a lot of synergy here because I actually applied to John Carroll University and got accepted there. I almost went there for college. And then she went to OUH-COM. She was our chief of Journal Club and did a wonderful job with that and kept Dr. Stemple on his toes, at least excited and yeah, kept him on his toes. He was really, and Emily is a milestone in our program as well. She is the first resident in our program to achieve a fellowship in women's global health. And she'll be traveling now to Duke University where she'll start that, and we're gonna live vicariously through her. So she's like our feminine, what's the guy's name? No, you know what I'm saying. No. The movies of Jones. What's his name? Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones. She's our lady in Indiana Jones. We're gonna be watching you and see where you go in your life, and that's gonna be wonderful. So, reading through her personal statement, She said when she was 8, do you remember? She was 8 years old, and she said she saw her aunt, who was pregnant, the baby move in her aunt before it was born, and it fascinated her, and it just drove her the rest of her life towards healthcare, and particularly women's healthcare. So you really fulfilled a dream for yourself, and we're so happy that you came and are part of our life now, and you're part of our family, and you can't get away from that. You know, family's family.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Next is Laura Schaefer. Laura is a fellow New Jerseyite. I grew up in New Jersey. And she came to us she went to Lehigh University and graduated from there, and then she went to Rutgers University for a master's program, and then went on to Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. And she was our chief of clinics, and another difficult river to navigate during the COVID time, and we got through it okay, and thank you to her. And in her personal statement, she mentioned that that we as humans celebrate the ability to wear several hats, and that women really are the epitome of the ones that you remember the old commercial with frying it up in the pan and wearing high heels in the kitchen. You know, they can do so many different. I know that's patronizing, but I don't mean. Women really do wear several hats, and their lives are much more difficult than ours sometimes, many times. Now you've achieved another hat, and an outstanding accomplishment. Thank you so much for being part of our family and joining us here. And you won't be far away. She is going to Dayton, Ohio, where she is joining the Life Stages Center for Women in practice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Our last resident this year is Cassandra Weidman. And early on in our experience with Cassandra here, I came from New Jersey, so I say water and not water. And I said Cassandra, and she said, my name isn't Cassandra, it's Cassandra. And yes, ma'am. She came to Columbus with her husband, Jason, and her baby, Mael. Is it Mael or Mael? Yes. Then, consistent with the reproductive medicine group that she joined here, they have Tora and now Silas that have increased our family here at Doctors Hospital, and we're very appreciative of that. You know, we have a wonderful family. She came to us through University of Mary Bismarck in North Dakota, and then went on to Des Moines College of Osteopathic Medicine. She was our chief of chiefs, so when the residents got out of line, she stood them up and smacked them down. Well, maybe not. Anyway, in her personal statement, she mentioned that John Wooden was a philosopher, and he was one of someone she liked to read about. And he said that success is peace in mind in knowing you made the effort to do what was necessary to do your best in becoming the best that you're capable of becoming. And you've exceeded that. You've really exceeded that. Talk about wearing hats. I don't know how you did it. You wore so many different hats and really navigated them, and I never saw a flutter. You did it with a lot, not much stress at all. You did it with ease. And thank you and you're going off to St. George, Utah, to be in practice. So if you don't like it there, come on back. Come back. I thank you so much for being part of our family. Yeah. And that's it, unless Dr. Topolnicki has something to say.
I think you said it all very well. I think that every one of you, when you come into our program, you leave a mark on us and you teach us something about ourselves and about how to educate the next generation. And each of you have been an inspiration to us in a different way. And you drive and encourage us to become better physicians and better people and better preceptors, so that we can continue to help everybody achieve their dreams in the future. So I'm the one that's thankful for having you guys in my life. So congratulations.
Congratulations. As I alluded to earlier in my remarks, Dr. Grennan was a family physician who graduated from Doctors Hospital in 2006. As I said, she tragically had developed inflammatory breast cancer, and at 32 years of age. Before her death, Dr. Grennan placed her efforts into inflammatory breast cancer awareness and fundraising. This award that we're about to present was created to honor Dr. Grennan's legacy and in recognition of her commitment to medical education, research, and philanthropy. Each year, this award recognizes an outstanding resident at Doctors Hospital who demonstrates the potential for significant contributions in the field of women's health. This year's recipient is Dr. Chelsea Cox. You're welcome to stay. You can fill a little bit of time. We could use that. So our next program has not yet arrived. So once again, you get to listen to me for a few minutes. Unless Dr. Perez wants to stay and do another 5 minutes of stand-up. Yeah. Oh, Dr. Perez has volunteered to tell jokes, and from 20 years of experience of doing this with him, I'm not going to let him. So thank you, Dr. Perez. As you can see, our program directors have passion and have such engagement with the residents that they train. We spend, as trainers, we spend 4, sometimes 7 years with these residents as they come through the years of training for medical school, as well as the years in their residency then. And so it does very much become a family, and we become very invested. We know them well. We know when they have children, when they get married, their large life events. We dry tears sometimes when that happens. We ease angst, but we become very much a part of their family. Osteopathic medicine and Doctors Hospital in particular allow this to be even more greatly felt at a deeper level. Over the next 2 to 3 years, I'm going to back that up, and I'm going to say over the past 2 to 3 years, we have worked very diligently with our sister hospitals that participate in graduate medical education in the OhioHealth system. There are 5 hospitals with graduate medical education: Riverside, Methodist Hospital, Grant Medical Center, Doctors Hospital, of course, Dublin Methodist Hospital, and our sister hospital in Athens, Oblenis. Those 5 institutions each have a separate DME, someone such as I, that oversees the programs in those hospitals, and the residents that rotate in those hospitals. Over the last 2 to 3 years, we have worked in a consortium, the 5 of us, to establish a system graduate medical education so that we have been able to work to get all of our programs under the governance of one graduate medical education committee that runs at the system level. The opportunity that this has provided for us is to be able to work collaboratively and have our residents be able to train not just in our hospital here at Doctors, but also in Riverside and at Grant and in Oblenis. For instance, our OBGYN program, which you just heard Dr. Perez present his residents, about 2 years ago merged with the OBGYN program in Athens. And so now our program actually serves both Columbus and Athens, as well as having a large presence in Grant Medical Center here in Columbus. So the system of OhioHealth does provide an opportunity for graduate medical education to become collaborative and to fill many of the needs throughout the city. One of the unique things in our OhioHealth system of graduate medical education is the fact that we have 5 programs, 5 separate, distinct programs in family medicine. And we have talked multiple times in different forums about the merging of all those into one large program. And I am happy to say that our system doesn't feel that that's a wise choice, because each one of our 5 programs accentuates a specific point of family medicine. We have Grant Medical Center, which serves the urban population in downtown Columbus, and does a lot of in-hospital training with their residents. We have Riverside that serves a different demographic to the northeast part of our city. And then we have Oblenis down in Athens, which serves in a rural capacity our patients down there. Dublin Hospital is the newest hospital in the medical education world, and their base for patient service is more of a suburban base with a lot of hospital and close affiliation, as does Oblenis, to the OU College of Osteopathic Medicine. Our hospital here at Doctors has a unique position in that we serve an underserved area. We have a lot of patient resources here to treat patients who have needs that are specific to the demographic in our area. So we are extremely lucky within OhioHealth to be able to have 5 separate family practice programs that actually address the needs of the entire city. I see that our next program director, Dr. Nick Maxim, has arrived with his graduates, so I'm going to ask Dr. Maxim to come forward. And we'll do the bump thing, and you get to be over there. We don't get to be any closer than elbows. Yeah, come over here. There you go. You're all there by yourself.
All right, good evening. As Dr. Earth said, my name is Nick Maxim. I'm the program director for the Cardiology Fellowship here at Doctors Hospital, and it's my pleasure to bring forward Dr. Ankur Shah for graduation from the Cardiology Fellowship. So Dr. Shah hails from Tallahassee, Florida, and actually attended did his undergraduate studies at Florida State University before moving on to the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine, where he completed his medical degree. Upon completion of his medical degree, he completed his residency here at Doctors Hospital in Columbus, Ohio, before joining us for our cardiology fellowship. During his time as a fellow, he received the Fellow of the Year Award as well as the OU-HCOM Educator Award during his time. Dr. Shah will be moving on to continue his educational endeavors, doing a sub-fellowship in adult electrophysiology at St. Vincent's Medical Center in Indianapolis. And Dr. Shah's family, his parents Narendra and Vanleela Shah, along with his sisters Purvi and Prakruti, are joining us tonight to watch this as well. So, Dr. Shah has been a wonderful fellow during his 3 years of training. He's been a excellent role model for both medical students, interns, residents, and fellows, as well as other hospital staff. He's added quite a bit from a scholarship standpoint and didactic standpoint as well. Before we move on here, I know we only have a few minutes, we actually did poll Dr. Shah's fellows and some of his fellow attendings as far as a few things Dr. Shah would be most likely to or not to do. So I couldn't go without sharing a few of these with you that are watching live this evening. So Dr. Shah, the top 5 that I have here were Dr. Shah was most likely to not correct anyone for mispronouncing his first name during his past 6 years of training. Dr. Shah is most likely to think that drinking muscle milk will actually make you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. My favorite is Dr. Shah is most likely to quit cardiology and become famous off a medical puns pickup line book.
That's true. I'm really good at that.
My personal favorite is Dr. Shah is most likely to work out with colored weights and actually call it a workout. And finally, Dr. Shah was voted most likely to actually lose his stethoscope. So, but in all seriousness, Dr. Shah has been a great addition to our fellowship over the past 3 years. Has added a lot from an educational standpoint, both within the fellowship as well as within the house staff, and really kind of growing the didactic program and really growing the program to the other sister sites within OhioHealth as well. So we wish him luck as he moves on to his sub-fellowship in EP. And Dr. Shah.
Thank you.
Oh, elbow.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next program is pulmonary critical care, and I want to call forward the program director, Dr. Jeffrey Kaufman. As Dr. Kaufman comes up, he and I are going to share a joke here. Dr. Kaufman is always distressed because when we do graduation, we do the programs presented usually in alphabetical order. We didn't do that this year for timing. And so he always, because he is the last one we have, is at the end of the presentation. This year he is actually next to last, so he should be very happy.
Well, thank you. We have one graduating fellow, Dr. Srita Gautam, who I'll call forward to get into the picture, I hope. I want to congratulate all graduating residents and fellows, and note that who would have ever predicted we'd be doing a virtual graduation even a couple of months ago? I certainly wouldn't have, but I'm glad that we thought of doing it rather than not give credit to the people that worked so hard. So I want to thank all the people working in medical education who have contributed to this day. Also the administration of Doctors Hospital for their support of medical education. And now for Srita. Dr. Srita Gautam has been with us in the fellowship for 3 years. Prior to that, she was in the internal medicine residency for 3 years. Her last year of fellowship, she was the chief fellow, which meant I had to do almost nothing. She was extremely helpful, and I want to thank you for that. Tonight, although they could not be in the building, her parents, Savita and Subhash, are with us to celebrate her graduation. That this is a virtual graduation makes it no less momentous than had we all been in one venue. Many of the pulmonary and critical care fellows are watching this. Some might have actually been downstairs, I'm not sure. And probably many of the attendings that she has worked with are also watching. Srita is originally from Cleveland. She moved south to go to the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine, and then moved to Columbus to do her internship and residency in internal medicine in 2014. In her first year as a medical resident, she was awarded Intern of the Year. And in her final year as a resident in internal medicine, she received Resident of the Year. So we knew that you would be a very good fellow, and you certainly did not disappoint us. Aside from being an excellent diagnostician, technically excellent in all of the procedures, she also has provided exceptional care to our patients, both in the ICU and in the pulmonary division. Also, I should add the clinic. And she has helped to educate countless residents, frequently other fellows, and also, not too infrequently, some of her attending physicians. And based on her research and study, she has presented posters at the annual meeting of the American College of Chest Physicians, once in 2017, regarding the incidence of cardiac rhythm disturbances associated with intracerebral hemorrhage, and again in 2019 regarding a particularly unusual presentation of tuberculosis. Now, getting into what awards did she get when she was a fellow. Well, at the end of her first year, she was awarded the Emergency Room Fellow of the Year, voted on by the Emergency Room Fellows. And in the second year, she was voted Doctors Hospital Fellow of the Year. And actually, I'm not sure if there's anything this year, but 2 years in a row is quite amazing. We always have mixed feelings when our fellows graduate, me personally, for sure. We hate to see Dr. Godham leave. We're certainly going to miss her, but we're excited for her transition to becoming an attending and a colleague, which she will be doing in Columbus at Mount Carmel. So congratulations, Sarita, and we hope you won't be a stranger.
Indeed. Dr. Kaufman and Sarita, not to disappoint, interns and residents vote for the Fellow of the Year based on commitment to their teaching, their attitude, and their cooperation. This year's winner is Dr. Sarita Godham.
As I would have suspected.
3 years. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, out there in TV land, you can breathe a sigh of relief. The next program director is here with his graduates, and I don't have to talk for 20 minutes. I would like to invite forward Dr. Richard Clapshar, Program Director for Otolaryngology and Facial Plastic Surgery, along with his Associate Program Director, Dr. Wayne Robbins.
Oh, that's fine.
You're the first one. You're over there, guys, on that side.
Well, thank you, Dr. Urs, for your kind introduction and welcome, and to our illustrious President and CEO of our great Doctors Hospital. We thank you for all that you've done, not only for your patients, your nurses, your doctors, but also for your residents who have had the pleasure of working at this institution for the past 5 years. I say good evening to all of you who are watching. This is a great opportunity to celebrate an important time in the lives of these residents who have been graduating. You have met, and another one you will meet shortly. Dr. Wayne Robbins and I send cordial congratulations to our previous graduates. Our esteemed osteopathic ENT department, that is otolaryngology and head and neck surgery with orofacial plastic surgery, honors, salutes, and congratulates our 2 graduating residents, Nicholas Eberly, DO, who cannot be present here tonight, and I introduce Kimberly S. Clapshar, DO, who is present with us, and please come up to the front. And stand proudly and smile to all of those who are hearing our words on your behalf, and that of Nick, who is not here tonight. Our graduates have proudly exhibited our treasured osteopathic principles and practice in every aspect of their dedicated hospital, clinical, and surgical responsibilities, from the earliest beginning of the American Osteopathic Association, directing our training program, to our most recent initial ACGME accreditation with osteopathic recognition. With pride, we wholeheartedly congratulate them and their extensive and noteworthy accomplishments. There are so many stories to talk about both residents. We're going to forego a long, ongoing soliloquy and talk tonight, but we are so proud of what they've done year by year, and in particular with Kimberly. She was able not only to serve here at OhioHealth, but also in some extreme out rotations, one overseas in Italy, in Rome, at the Gemelli Hospital, who knew nothing about osteopathic principles,
osteopathic care, and osteopathic abilities. Very nice to hear from the faculty members who nurtured her for a month in that hospital, well known to important Italians. They found her skills in sinus surgery, in head and neck surgery, in tracheostomies, where our beloved old Pope John Paul II was dying and had, with critical pulmonary issues, a tracheostomy, and they felt honored to see that her knowledge certainly augmented what they knew in terms of best care to do tracheostomy procedures. So with pride, we wholeheartedly congratulate both of them tonight and their extensive and noteworthy accomplishments. Dr. Eberly, where he had his undergraduate education at Ohio University College of Osteopathic Medicine, he will be embracing a group-employed osteopathic otolaryngology practice in Cincinnati, Ohio. And Dr. Kimberly S. Klapchar, where she has had her undergraduate education at Michigan State University College of Osteopathic Medicine. She will be joining an osteopathic otolaryngology practice not far from us in Bellefontaine, Ohio. We wish all of them, both all of the graduates you've seen tonight and our two graduates in our program, Dr. Eberly, Dr. Kim Klapchar, we wish them Godspeed as they carry and display their treasured osteopathic heritage, training, and excellence of patient care as they embrace with vigor and enthusiasm and their new and promising beginning. Again, congratulations.
Dr. Robbins, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Yes. A man of few words.
Only a few words, Kim. I'm so proud and happy for you.
Thank you.
I can remember so well this night for me 30 years ago, how proud I felt of my accomplishments and how much we had done. I've only been a part of your life for a short time, but I can see that you truly embody the compassion and caring attitude that we expect out of our osteopathic residents. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Robbins.
Great.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Richfield.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you, Kim.
Not so you thought that I left you. I wouldn't do that. I've got to come back and fill space again.
I will fill space.
Oh, Mr. Richfield's going to take over. Thank goodness.
Yeah. I will be a filler. One of the things I thought, which we're all referring to COVID and the pandemic, maybe just to talk a little about how we as a hospital and a health system have coped with that over the last 3 months. I think most of you remember that it was really in February, at the end of February, when we got some inkling that the virus was not contained to China and was going to be spread. And then really in the beginning of March is when it really hit several states. I think Ohio, as you know from the governor's actions and the Department of Health, and was very proactive in canceling the Arnold competition, which right now looks to be a great thing. But a lot was done to cope with, to prepare with protective equipment that we needed for our caregivers, with testing. The original testing took 8 to 9 days to get results, which really hindered the ability to care for patients, and we had to wear protective garb for everyone. So all of our caregivers, our residents, we really appreciate the fact that this gigantic unknown was coped with very well. Now I see we do have our family medicine residents.
Oh, thank you. He's a lifesaver. Not for me, for you all, so you didn't have to listen to me again. It's my pleasure to introduce the last program of the evening, and the program director, Dr. Andrew Eilerman, and his associate program director, Jill Porter.
Oh,
wow. We have to do something fun.
Thank you, Dr. Urs. We are quite amazed at your ad-libbing ability this afternoon.
Y'all knew I could talk.
Yes, that was amazing. I mean, to talk about the history, and we were all learning something tonight. This is amazing.
It's one of the wonders of getting old. You can do that. You can fill a lot of time.
So I want to thank also my Associate Program Director, Dr. Jill Porter, who's with me tonight to introduce our residents. Each year when we have graduation for family medicine, we do a breakfast event, and when we originally planned it, because of the pandemic, we had to change our plans and make it virtual. So this morning we did host our first virtual Doctors Hospital Family Practice breakfast, and with some little snafus, it seemed to go really well. We had a cellist, Dr. Porter's significant other, Dr. Jose Roca, played the cello as we presented slideshow and introduced our residents and the great accomplishments that they were able to achieve. So we're very proud of our residents and all that they have achieved, and I'd like to speak to the 6 of them tonight. I mean, this is just an amazing group of 6 individuals who have achieved so much in the course of their 3 years with us. So I'll first introduce Dr. Michael Baisdow. Dr. Baisdow grew up in Ironton, Ohio. He trained at Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. He has a variety of interests in practice, management, OMT, musculoskeletal medicine, and he's accomplished quite a bit. They've passed their American Osteopathic Board of Family Physician Medicine boards. He is a 2-time winner, 2019 and 2020, winner of the Kenyon, Corey, and Dayton Henseroth DO Osteopathic Heritage Award that our program gives out to the most osteopathically minded individual in the program. He served as OMT chair. He did research in patient perception of OMT. Dr. Baisdow is joining his family practice, Baisdow Family Clinic in Ironton, Ohio. He's excited to be close again to his family there. So congratulations, Dr. Baisdow.
Congratulations.
Next, we have Nicole Hardiman, DO. Dr. Hardiman is from Athens, Georgia. She trained at the Georgia branch campus of the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. She has an interest in working with underserved populations, preventative medicine, anti-obesity, and lifestyle medicine. During her time at DHFP Family Practice, she served as the recruitment chair. She was also our Wellness on Wheels Mobile Clinic longitudinal resident. So she holds a soft spot for me. And she was also our co-chief resident. With us, she has grown her family, becoming a mother of Liam, who has attended many of our social events. Accomplishments of Dr. Hardiman. The passage of her AOBFP Family Medicine Boards. She was nominated for the Doctors Hospital Spirit of Caring Award as a PGY2 resident. She did research in screening for diabetes in women who are high risk with Dr. Joseph through the Ohio Department of Health. She was the Wellness on Wheels Mobile Clinic longitudinal resident in both her PGY2 and PGY3 years. She was nominated for the Ruth Purdy Award in her PGY3 year. She completed an area of concentration in anti-obesity and lifestyle medicine, and she was our co-chief. Dr. Hardiman will be joining OhioHealth Physicians Group in Dublin, here in Ohio, so we're keeping her, while awaiting her husband, Will, to complete his training in general surgery. Congratulations, Nicole.
Next, we have Dr. Michael Joseph. Dr. Joseph is from Dayton, Ohio. He was in the first graduating class from Marion University College of Osteopathic Medicine in Indianapolis. He has interest in sports medicine and academic medicine. During his time with DHFP, he has served as research chair and as a leader, also co-chief resident this past year. He has taught numerous students at OUHCOM Dublin through OMT table training and case discussion activities. He also welcomed 2 boys into his family during his time with us, Jack and Christopher. His accomplishments included the consistent top ACTS point earner throughout his senior year for volunteer service. He also passed his AOBFP Family Medicine boards. He again served as co-chief resident. He participated in the research that was formerly alluded to with Dr. Hardiman at the Department of Health, and was nominated by our program for the Ohio State Society of the ACOFP Resident of the Year, as well as the American Osteopathic Foundation's ACOFP National Family Medicine Resident of the Year. We hope that that will come to fruition. And received a Areas of Concentration Certificate in Academic Medicine. This morning at our breakfast, he received the Society of Teachers in Family Medicine Resident Teacher of the Year. And after graduation, Dr. Joseph will be joining OhioHealth Physician Group in Grove City. So he'll be very close to us. Congratulations, Dr. Joseph.
Next is Melissa Koppelman, DO. Dr. Koppelman grew up in Richmond, Virginia. She graduated from the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine. Her interests include medicine with preventative care, sports medicine, pediatrics, women's health, osteopathic manipulation. Additionally, she has grown interest in obesity and lifestyle medicine. She enjoys soccer, running. We did a 5K together, and she stuck with me the whole time, even though she could have dusted me. Her accomplishments include she passed the AOBFP Family Medicine boards. She did a research project regarding the barriers to weight management. She completed an area of concentration in obesity and weight management. This morning, she received the Lori Gill Grennan Doctors Hospital Family Practice Research Award. Dr. Koppelman will be joining Thornville Family Medicine in Thornville, Ohio. Congratulations.
Next up is Dr. Jeffrey Marshall. Dr. Marshall is originally from Columbus, Ohio, and received his Doctor's of Osteopathic Medicine degree from Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. Dr. Marshall has an interest in preventative medicine, OMM, and acute care. He was also a participant in the Wellness on Wheels mobile unit. While with us, Dr. Marshall has had a busy home life with 3 adorable young kids at home, Eli, Sienna, and Miles. His accomplishments include also passage of the AOBFP Family Medicine boards. He did some research in transitions of care across the healthcare system, which actually got the attention of quite a few people in the system in the great work that he did with that. And he also was a top scorer in the country for his senior year in his in-service exam. Dr. Marshall will be joining COPC Westerville Family Physicians in Westerville, Ohio after graduation. Congratulations, Dr. Marshall.
And last but not least is Pavla Timble, DO. Dr. Timble grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. She is a graduate of Des Moines University College of Osteopathic Medicine. She has an interest in women's health, nutrition, preventative medicine, and palliative care. She served as a recruitment chair in her PGY2 year. She also grew her family with us these 3 years and welcomed 2 beautiful daughters, Penelope and Pepper. Her accomplishments include passage of the osteopathic performance boards. She did research in HPV. She was also a top scorer in the country for her senior in-service exam. Smart cookie. She will be joining Central Ohio Primary Care, Upper Arlington Preventative Care Practice after graduation. Congratulations, Dr. Timble. Congratulations.
So congratulations to these very fine physicians. I would wholeheartedly have them as my primary care physician and would advise any family member of mine to see them because they're all just fantastic. And I also want to acknowledge our program administrator, Mariah Nevels, and all the work that she does to help us out every day. And of course, Doctors Hospital Medical Education, who is our partner in helping train such fine individuals to be skilled physicians. So thank you all.
Thank you. The internal medicine residency program began at Doctors Hospital in 1951, as I said earlier, and Ruth E. Purdy was the second internal medicine resident, as well as the first female resident at Doctors Hospital. Dr. Purdy's nearly 70-year career was committed to the service of community as well as her patients. The Ruth E. Purdy DO Award was established to honor her legacy by recognizing an outstanding resident at Doctors Hospital who embodies excellence in both the medical profession and public service. This year's winner is Dr. Nicole Hardiman. The Pastoral Care Department awards annually the Spirit of Caring Award to an intern, resident, or fellow who meets the following criteria. They demonstrate compassion during interactions with patients. They take time to meet the patient needs. They collaborate with interdisciplinary team members to optimize patient care. They recognize the spiritual, emotional, and social dimensions of healing, and they demonstrate the OhioHealth cardinal value to honor the dignity and worth of each individual. The nomination for this year's recipient reveals this physician demonstrates the ability to make every person feel heard and understood, respects the need for all dimensions of care for the patient, and has counseled both patients and families with both kindness and concern. This year's award winner is Dr. Pavla Timbal. Thank you, Family Medicine. We appreciate it. I want to thank all of you tonight who have joined us to celebrate the great achievements of our graduates via this live stream. I hope you have enjoyed seeing these fine physicians receive the recognition for the hard work that they have done throughout their training. I hope you haven't been too labored listening to me prattle on for moments and moments, but I can grant you that there are just a few left. Maya Angelou said, "I have great respect for the past, but I am a person of the moment. I am here, and I do my best to be completely centered at the place I am at. Then I go forward to the next place." These graduates that you have met tonight have been completely centered and focused here at this place, and now it is time for them to go forward to their next place. We wish them great success. We wish them Godspeed. Thank you all for being with us tonight. Good night, and may you all enjoy the remainder of your evening. Thank you.